Well. Here we are, the Man United agenda after another great result. You can see by the smile on his face after Lyon, and he's even redder today after this great result against Bilbao. No one saw this coming. What a result, and we're here to talk about it. Big up to all you guys in the comments. And first of all, I just want to say congratulations, Mr. B's back on the watch-alongs, and he chose a great game. What a great watch-along that was. He delivered the emotion, full of emotion. I'm very proud he was at the end of the game, even though he wasn't at halftime. But anyway, Bathtime. What a great thumbnail. I've just seen it. Very funny. I didn't think you could do me, but yeah, I'll go with that. And you got my shirt right as well. How you doing, Bathtime? I hope you're beaming right now.
I'm good. I'm just pleased that you feel that your profile picture is big and strong enough, because I had to do it twice to make you even more massive.
Well, yeah, I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased. You haven't seen the thumbnail, go check it out later. Big up to everyone in the comments. And once again, we got Mr. Stewart Marshall. Now, Stewart, I know you work outside. It's been a beautiful day. Looked like you caught a suntan. But after Lyon game, you were at the game at Lyon game in an epic quarterfinal. And we got a live, fresh reaction from you that day. And we're blessed to have you again for another live, fresh reaction from another great performance by Man United Football Club. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. As you can tell, I caught the sun in the last couple of days. My bald head, look, oh dear. But yeah, absolutely buzzing after that. None of us expected that, did we? Come on, none of us. I said 2-1, but that was from the heart. But I would have took a draw. But 3-0 away to Bilbao, and then at the end, I'm disappointed that we didn't get 4 or 5. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
So many little talking points to go through. I mean, Great game. But before the game, look, let me just say this. Are Bilbao a good team? Well,
they've got the best defence in Europe.
Yeah, but you've seen them now. You've seen them live.
But I thought they were dirty. Come on, there was some bad tackles going in there. And the way they were kicking off with a penalty, it's a blatant penalty all day long. But
how many players stood out to you? Even before the 10 men, how many players stood out to you?
Well, I was worried about the Williams brothers, but no.
They're in the chat.
You mean Tyrone and Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bartha, can I ask you before we go into it? Obviously, are Bilbao a good team? I mean, where would they be in the Premiership? If they're fourth in the La Liga, I didn't see anything special from them.
I thought that they were I thought they're very good in the first 20 minutes in terms of the pressure that they're applying to the ball, winning physical battles. This might just be because Ugarte and Dorgu were absolutely useless for the first 25 minutes, but they made us useless. What they don't have, Yabba, is a mentality. You could today was bank holiday in Spain. All them fans been drinking all day. And I think that they looked to me like they were poorly prepared and too. They were too wired as a team. They weren't able to emotionally handle themselves, and they let us basically take complete control of the game. So I think that they do okay in the Premier League, and I think they're a good team, but they're their own worst enemies.
Yeah. I want to say hi to everyone in the chat. We've got Dave Allen saying, who's booking the tickets for the Bilbao final? Can I come to you, Stuart?
Yeah. We're doing a road trip to Bilbao. Anyone's welcome.
Oh, wow.
Anyone's welcome.
Even from our chat?
Sorry?
Even from our chat?
Anyone. Look, we're hiring a camper van. I've already got about 6 of us going, including 2 Spurs fans. If we get to the final. But we're doing a road trip, so there's gonna be room for about 12 people. So anyone wants to come, let me know.
Are you taking the ferry?
Sorry?
Are you taking the ferry, or are you driving?
No, we're driving.
Nice.
Because already, I mean, I was going to book a flight for the final last week, 160 quid. I've already looked at half time tonight. Surprisingly, they've gone up to 4,500.
Typical. All right, we got Anthony Williams. Saying
that's Tyrone, by the way.
All right, it's a bit too early, Dave, says Anthony. Saying here, Tyrone, congratulations on getting the rematch with Johnny Fisher. I think you won the first fight. Good luck in the rematch. Obviously, Bosh, Johnny Fisher was up against Dave Allen, the boxer. A bit of a robbery, I thought. No, it's 40 final, says Dave Allen. Not yet.
Fans just walked in the
They're going
room.
back and forth. Can't see them scoring for Old Trafford. Titanium's good. Stewart says there. Casemiro outstanding, says Dave. Maguire, Sancho says I'm Titanium. Big up to Overhead Kick TV. How you doing? He says, what a game. Wow. Casemiro was class. It's all coming in. Good evening, Chat Sport. Good evening to 80 Football. Say big up again. He was in the live watch along. And Dave Allen said he's going. Yeah, and we're just starting. So come on, guys. Look, start the game. You just talk about the first 20 minutes because halftime you said they were playing well. They were all over us. I just felt, as I said at halftime, I just felt that we set up well. We kind of restricted them. The mistakes individuals were making who were a bit rattled and choking a bit. I think Ugarte was choking and Lindelof was choking in the back as well. Those were how the chances opened up, in my opinion. But I'd like to hear your take on it. The first 20 minutes, 11 against 11. How was it for you?
I think I didn't like Dorgu's starting position. I understood it. He was playing very, very high and was getting as close to Rasmus as possible, sort of second balls and knock-ons and things like that. I think that they had two pretty good chances, didn't they, in the first 20 minutes? Like there was the Lindelof block and the Nico Williams headers. So I don't feel we were settled. I completely agree. I think Ugarte was too febrile and excited. Lindelof, he made a couple of errors throughout the game, but overall, I think he settled in and he did well. And I think Maguire and Casemiro kind of took control of the team. And I know Bruno got 2 goals, but I felt that his influence on the team wasn't as important as those two tonight for keeping everything nice and calm. But this is what you get in away games in Europe. You get a mental crowd that you've got to quiet. You've got to quiet it down. You've got to sort of not do any silly fouls, try and take the sting out of the game. And I'm not completely sure that United did that well enough in the first 20 minutes. But a lot of that is because Ugarte isn't comfortable on the ball. And yeah, I mean that's I don't know about you, Stuart. That's how I saw the first 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Ugarte was. I mean, he gave the ball away 3 terrible balls, didn't he? And yeah, it was pretty nervous first 20 minutes. I mean, when Garnacho scored the offside goal, I was already up screaming. It took me about a minute before someone told me it was disallowed. I was off running around the house. But yeah, Ugarte was terrible first 20 minutes. But it's history now, isn't it?
Well, looking at the first 20 minutes, it was 11 against 11. I mean, there's a comment here saying if they would have stayed at 10 men, we probably would have lost the game. But that's speculation now, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. But no. They looked decent. They were, like Bathtime said earlier, they were putting it on us as you would expect with the home crowd and everyone drinking the sangrias and all that kind of thing in the warm sun. But yeah, we stood up to it and stood up well. And I think what was really significant for me was certain experienced players talking other players through the game who were a bit shaky because we were switched on. We were definitely switched on, weren't we, Stuart, today?
I was very surprised how physical Bilbao were, to be honest. Very surprised out. They were physical tonight. Very physical. I mean, Garnacho, he goes over a lot, doesn't he? And he straight away, he's like, But yeah, I'm just buzzing. I'm buzzing.
About the first 20 minutes, Dave's saying here, first 20 minutes was a little nervous. But when the first goal went in, I was like, yes. Second went in and 2-0. And I thought, hold on, we've been here already. And the third went in and it flattened a blatant penalty. I think he's saying there, blatant penalty. So after 30 minutes, we've actually scored a goal. Can we just talk about the move Garnacho? I mean, there was a lot of expectation or sort of there was expectation put on Garnacho today because the people were saying he shouldn't be playing. I've heard a lot of people on the panel, in the chat, a lot of Man United fans are really disappointed. They're either hot and cold with Garnacho all season, but he seems like the only person out there who can actually drive at people, can be a bit of excitement, bringing a bit of excitement, a bit of pace, and a bit of uncertainty, could cause a bit of uncertainty to the opposition defence. So why are we getting on Garnacho's back? He had a great chance. He scored actually in the opening minutes from the offside. He was offside, but why are we getting on Garnacho's back so much?
I don't look. Everyone's got their own opinions. I love Garnacho. I absolutely love the boy. Yeah, he's been a bit lately very, very frustrating to watch his final ball and he doesn't pass when he should. But we need Garnacho on his side. We need that pace. This is Man United. Man United are built on pace and counter-attacks, etc., etc. Take Garnacho out of that. We haven't got nothing up top. I mean, to be honest, even Rasmus tonight, thought he played a blinder. He held the ball up tonight. When he got the ball, he held it up. I just wanted to get goals, don't we?
Okay, so Garnacho had a great. Really, it was a good finish. To be fair, talking about his finishing, we asked the question why people got to get us back. Dave Allen saying should Garnacho just stay? If he spends too much time on the floor, I went mental. And Andy saying here, Yabba, we get on his back because of his decision making. It's irritating. Today he scored a goal early on and set the tone. Bathtime. Let's talk about Garnacho and just his, what he offers us as a club. I mean, without that penetration, that running power, and thing, we don't have much. He can't be replaced.
No, I mean, he should have that goal should have counted. It's really poor play from Agate. He should release the ball far sooner. A good run will always get you offside if the midfielder doesn't release the ball at the correct time. So I was disappointed with that because it's one of the only bloody finishes gone at. That'd have been his first shot, and he normally needs 14 to score, I think. But look, he carries our threat. He gets the ball, he's direct, he commits people, he drives at them. The issue is that he's a young player. So he makes a lot of dodgy decisions sometimes. He doesn't pass it outside to Dorgu when people think he should. He takes shots when it's not really on. And his ball striking, he's very unbalanced. His ball striking isn't great. So I can understand people saying he's not ready for the top level, but he's clearly ready for Europa League top level, and he's been. He carries a threat. I can't tell you how important it is to be able to give the ball to someone who can carry it up the pitch, and because of that, teams drop. You get more space in between the lines and stuff. I wasn't his biggest fan. I have to say, maybe around Christmas time where he was annoying me, but I think him and Bruno have really turned it on in the back end of the season. I hope he stays, but having said that, there are massive areas in his game that he needs to upgrade as soon as possible. And someone said something about how he's on his arse a lot this evening. I really enjoy players that win free kicks up the pitch. They help you out so much. And one aspect of tonight I really liked is that United were definitely playing for free kicks when we were in trouble. Maguire was doing it quite a lot as well, and that's always the sign of a good, experienced European team, which we are now.
Thank you for that. All right, so at half an hour, we finally scored. After, obviously, there was the Williams header. I think Euro was sleeping when that ball came across. It could have, if it was on target, I don't see the keeper saving that. And obviously, there's the double block by Lindelof after he initially made a couple of mistakes. Did you guys want to touch on anything to that scene? Anything you want to find details about those two chances they had?
I prefer to talk about our goals, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't say it was a great block. I think it's just hitting, but
the only thing I'd say about it is Onana, when the shot is taken that Lindelof blocks, Onana took a step in completely the wrong direction. It was it was very strange. But he did. I'll tell you one thing that I really enjoyed tonight is that we weren't pissing about at the back a lot. I enjoyed the fact that Amorim looked at what happened the other day and he went, "This is how I'm going to solve it. I'm going to get someone closer to Rasmus when I boot it and things." And I have to disagree with Stewart. I wasn't hugely impressed again with Rasmus. I think it's you're judging him by his standards instead of what you would want from a professional footballer at number 9. He didn't give enough in a game with 10 men.
No. But again, you got they don't get no service half time.
Yeah, but you got to run about and stuff.
Yeah, he runs up his own bum, doesn't he? To be honest, he's just he gives a lot of effort, but
I tell you what it was,
I can't see him being here next season. Can't.
Nico Williams, he did one thing in that game, I think, and it was he absolutely monstered Rasmus on the edge of the penalty box. And when you're getting beaten up by a sort of a fate winger, I can't see Ase played a blinder. But he contributed. He got a man sent off, so that's output, I suppose.
Okay, let's get on with the good news. And the good news is this. Andy Williams is saying here, Maguire's cross for Casemiro was outstanding. The skill on the right wing was superb. Take a bow. And obviously, we had a free kick at this point, relieved a lot of pressure, like you're saying about getting free kicks. It did slow the game down. Bruno took the free kick. It was in the second phase. We had defenders up for the free kick. Ball bounced out to us, and then ended up with Maguire on the right side of the pitch, and he picked up the ball. Then Stewart, what happened next? It's like question of sport.
It was like watching Ryan Giggs in his heyday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. He sort of
what
gone
would you
one
say?
side.
I mean, if you didn't see it, you would probably think, what happened next? Maguire kicks the ball off the pitch or something like that. But amazing. I mean, come on, give the guy some his props.
He's outstanding again. I mean, you know yourself, Yabba. I wasn't Maguire's biggest fan of a couple of years ago, but apart from Bruno, he's the first name on a team sheet for me now, to be honest. The bloke's immense. He's a proper defender. And hands up, I love Maguire now. Absolutely love him. Love him.
I'm Titanium saying give Maguire the number 7 shirt, but is that because of what happened? What man, now be serious now on this. Now you're a defender and you see Maguire with the ball. Are you, if it's Ahmad or if it's Garnacho, you're going to be on your toes and you'll be ready? Do you think the defender just underestimated what Maguire was going to do there? Because it was just a basic chops and chops again. But Maguire's got that in the locker and got away with it. I mean, do you blame the defender or do you think Maguire was just that good?
It's a defender.
Okay, talk to us.
Like, look, right, taking nothing away from Maguire. Maguire is a lot. Like, Maguire will be a better dribbler than most players in the Championship, strikers and wingers included. Like, just when you're at the top level, you're better than everything. I can remember when we signed Sancho, there were all these pictures from England training of Sancho skinning Maguire. And then Maguire did it back to him. Like, these players are incredible. But what happens is this is a very simple, basic technique that you're taught when you're out wide, which is that when a player crosses, you stamp your foot down. And by doing that, it means that if they chop it, you're able to pivot off that foot and go outside. And the real genius to what Maguire did is that when he made that chop, he was going to pass it back. But he understood that the defender had sold himself, and then using that kind of like clay motion, Wallace and Gromit animation he sort of bent it with the outside. He like sort of flicked it with the outside of his right foot, and then he put a cross in. And I cannot believe it, but Ugate's turned out with another assist with a completely mishit header at goal that Casemiro has topped in the back. But the thing is in the same way that I got really annoyed with a lot of Ugate's play when he first came, because Manchester United players need to be effective in the final third, all of them. Like, and Maguire, and that is why you pay money for players like Maguire, because they can do it in our box and they can contribute. But when you need the moments and when it matters to win cup competitions, you've got to have players that can recognise danger and exploit it. And that's what Maguire did. And also delaying the cross. Like, if you look at a lot of Rashford's goals, Rashford does this thing where he just doesn't, he sort of is primed to shoot, but he doesn't. And he waits for the defender to move and then pushes it and takes the shot. Maguire did exactly the same thing for the cross. He let the defender overcommit before he could put it into Ugarte. And it's like, and when Stewart says it's like watching Ryan Giggs, I know like that's kind of funny, but the level of understanding of how to execute that action is genuinely really at the top. And like with players like Maguire, they're really, really good at football, despite what people tell you. And that's an example of it. Just
quickly, Bathtime. Harry Maguire's passing ability is it's out there. It's for a centre half, excuse me, for a centre half who's, in my opinion, an old school English centre half, his passing ability is second to none.
his carrying as well is extremely good. Maguire,
he carries the ball. Yeah.
You know, people laugh when Harry Maguire says stuff like he reckons that if he played at Man City and he had like that protection around him, he'd be really, really good. You're seeing what he's like with a bit of protection around him, and he's an extremely good player and always has been. But people have sort of believed stories about how defending is all about running. Like it's all about pace and things like that. You're seeing that Maguire is like one of the best centre-backs that we've had in the last 10, 15 years. And he's played extremely well, and he contributes in all parts of play, in the midfield, in attack now, in defence. That's exactly what you're looking for a top player. And I'm very pleased that he's getting his flowers, because indirectly, me and Yabba get our flowers after how much we praised him and said how quality he is for years.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, look, you have to give him props. It's not about I told you so or anything like that. Look, I've had this, if you can see here, under my name, Harry Maguire fan, and I've stood by this guy. And I think while he's at the club, you've got to stand by him. He's a quality defender, quality player. When I watched him in the 2018 World Cup, I thought he's one of the best defenders in that competition. On the ball, distribution, like Stewart said. Stewart sees him live, pinging balls around the pitch. And it's just that he had, a bit of, he's got that look about him where he got tagged with something, slab head and a few mistakes, and it's stuck. And then it's like easy target for people to mock him, to make a joke out of him. And it takes a lot. Like one day when he
branding issue.
Yeah, one day when he retires, he will probably tell a story about how that really affected him and what it took to get back and prove people wrong. And sometimes it was maybe that's a good thing, because he's had to have that desire to prove people wrong. And it means so much to him. Like, remember when he scored that goal for England when he was going with the ears? He let himself go a bit, he showed the emotion there. And today he was very happy with what he did in the corner. I saw his interview after the game. Fair play to him. It's about coming back, bouncing back and coming back from adversity. And rather than, crying and, blaming the world and got everything, he's come back and said, right, I'll take it. I keep playing, demanding the ball, going up against the best I can and doing the best I can do. And that's all he's done. And he deserves credit for that. I'm not saying he's the best defender of all time. At Man United, there's been some better players, but for the mental toughness that he's shown, it's great to see someone getting his flowers. And we have to give applause to that. Anyone who comes back from adversity like that, you have to give them some sort of a round of applause. So,
struggled a little bit though today against that big centre half. He didn't have it all his own way, Maguire.
I must say, I agree. He's not perfect, but for what he does, he always puts foot in. He's not afraid. He doesn't hide. So you talk about struggling, I'll pick out Lindelof. He struggled. He gave the ball away stupidly a few times. There's the difference. So it's about standards, how you measure up to people. For Harry Maguire standards, maybe he had a few problems with this guy, whatever. But he's out there. He's put himself out there, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not. I can take the criticism of him, but I also when it's time to give him flowers, let's give him some respect.
Yeah, but what like I thought Lindelof had a sort of ropey 15 minutes, but after that, I thought he was actually really good. Like in terms of his use of the ball, like the sort of the spaces and things like that. I thought that like him, Maguire, and Yoro in particular, I think should be like.
He was
we just talked about the goal. Yeah, all right. Let's talk about Yoro then quickly, because he's come into the side this year, new signing. He's a very young guy as well, and he got injured earlier in the season. Didn't see much of him, but we're at the stage now in 1st of May, and we're talking about him glowing performance, right?
He's a Rio in the making.
Well, I hope he's not out for a year with the drugs ban, which we always forget about Rio. Like letting Kenny Miller do him. I think that I tell you, like, I always like to sort of talk about quality and things. And like, I know people have these kind of ideas of what they want in a centre-half striker and stuff like that. You need to be really, really good at football now, like whatever position you play. And the difference between Yoro taking the ball at left centre, like on the left, and Dorgu is incredible. Like, I think that Bilbao planned that they thought that Dorgu was going to be much deeper, because all of their kind of pressing was centered around that side. And I think that even though it annoyed me his positioning think Amrin might have done something very clever there. And what that meant is that Yoro was the one receiving the ball with lots of pressure on him. They couldn't get close to him. He was coming in like Dennis Irwin to receive it. He was comfortable on the ball. And that's even before you get into how he was managing spaces and attacking things. Like, the boy is quality, and it's like that level of control he has of his body and the situation and things like that. Absolutely fantastic. And that is the level that he's got to keep at, because he really is going to be like he's going to get to the sort of levels that you talk about with like Saliba and Maguire if he continues this trajectory. It's genuine quality, and none of those two receive the ball as well as he does in those kind of spaces.
Yeah, you're nodding there, Stuart. I mean, you watch him live. Is he immense when you watch him?
It's still a tough one. I mean, he's still a kid, isn't he? So, same as Dorgo. I'm still not sure about Dorgo. He's got a lot of pace. He's just strong. He's a unit. He gets into positions. He gets the ball in. But again, I think it's the final ball with Dorgo. But he'll be fine. Dorgo will be fine. Absolutely fine.
You think so?
Like Yoro.
Yeah, but Yoro. I love Yoro. I've loved him since day one.
So
he's going to be class.
The first thing you said is comparable to Rio. I can see what you mean with his stature.
Yeah, very composed, Yabba. Very composed.
And just think today, I mean, you have to sort of, and we saw Arsenal with their young players, and we've seen what Yamal did for Barcelona, young players. Like in that atmosphere today, it was a cooking pot. It was hot in there. It was fire. And if you're in opposition going out to that, you got to have something about you. If you're not going to go, right, take this in and, think to yourself, marvel and say, wow, this is top stuff, where they're doing everything against you, the whistling, they're throwing stuff at Onana. You have to be on it. And I think even when you see players like Ugarte and Lindelof, internationals slipping up and choking a bit, it's great to see people like Yoro. That says he's got something up here, which is unique for such a young player. Well done to Yoro as well. So the second, we've gone 1-0 up, and then we scored again. This after 30 minutes we scored, and then at 35 minutes they were down to 10 men. Let's talk about that, because initially I didn't see anything really wrong. I just saw the move come through, but we played a decent ball cross. It was Maz playing as right wing back. If you watched the show yesterday, we talked about that right wing back role. We said, mate, he's going to play centre back. Is he going to play right wing back? But Dallow's out. He's played right wing back. This guy's Mr. Versatility. Remember, he was playing as number 10 under Ten Hag for a game as well. He played a nice ball across the corridor of uncertainty. And this seems like, after I mentioned the other day, this kind of standard goal for us now, where we can just play balls in that and slot in. I saw Bruno miss one like this the other day against Bournemouth, where the same ball came across, first time shot, and he fluffed it wide. But this Mazarari, am I learning his name? Played a great ball, and he's got himself in a good position as well. And obviously the guy got pulled back. Good movement by the striker, -9. Talk to me about that. Any issues with the penalty?
Oh, blatant. I call it straight away. I mean, how long did it take on VAR from that moment when he got pulled back? What did it take? Another 4 or 5 minutes? And the whole
probably
time
about the red card.
Just give it. It's a blatant. I was shocked with the red card, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a booking. But obviously, the letter of the law, it's a foul. It's a clear goal scoring opportunity. I was very surprised with a red card, but we're going to take it, aren't we?
I assume that was what the wait was for so long, is that they were looking to see if he was trying to play the ball, because they kept but I mean, for me, I've got to say, I didn't think it was a penalty at first. When it happened live, I saw it again and I thought, there's no way we're getting this, because I knew that would be a red card, and I didn't think they'd make that decision. They did. Bruno's man. For such an emotive whinger, Bruno he's ice cold at pens. I know people say that, but incredible. It's so weird. His characters is crazy, and I love the fact he was whinging at Bilbao players before preparing. He's just there arguing like Ali McBeal, a lawyer, about why it was a penalty and stuff, and then just calms himself down, sends keeper the wrong way, rolls it in. didn't have his best game this evening, Bruno, but yeah, he got 2 goals.
Someone said he's got 39 goals and assists this year. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, incredible.
So 19 goals and then that many assists as well. Strong
And
referee
there's-
in Sub Vince. Just talk about what's it take. I mean, I saw Bruno sort of suck it up before he went to take the penalty to compose himself. I mean, what does it take to sort of be in a situation like that? It must be nerve-wracking. You doubt yourself, wouldn't you?
Not if you practice.
No, you wouldn't want no one else in that situation. The guy's ice, he's got ice running through his veins, and nothing fazes him. You've got 50,000 Bilbao fans whistling. Just so composed, he just strokes it in the corner, 2-0.
Was ever any doubt for you? Because you had doubt when we were down at Lyon. You wanted to leave the stadium, but was there any doubt when he stepped up for the penalty?
No. I was stood up in front of that screen. Goal, 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 goal. In you go, get in.
It's so good having a reliable penalty taker, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think he might have missed against Villa like 2 years ago or something.
Has he only missed 1 penalty for us last time?
He definitely missed against Villa. I can't remember him missing another one.
No, I can't. If anyone in the comments knows, I'm pretty sure he's only missed 1 penalty for United.
And he scored a penalty against Brighton after the final whistle.
That's it. That was lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was amazing. But I think that the thing is, I reckon Bruno has a rotation of 4 or 5 15-year-old goalkeepers that he works like they're chimney sweeps in the Victorian times, and he spends half an hour, 40 minutes at the end of every session just practicing that penalty, and that's where you get the confidence from. If you rehearse an action over and over again, you can do it. Like, I love taking penalties because I've practiced it like 10,000 times or something. I've got I have no issue going out and taking a penalty in a World Cup final because you've got like a body of work behind you and you're confident in everything you do, and that's what Bruno is. He's just an absolute pen machine. It's great.
Not just that. I mean, as Simon says here, he never gets injured either. So he's just a complete machine, a penalty machine, and just machine in general because he keeps himself fit week in, week out, playing however many games that is. I think he's missed 1 game in recent times, but amazing to him to do that. So we've gone 2-0 up, and obviously 10 men, and that's about game management now. And fortunately for us, we scored again. We had another great chance. Maz hit the crossbar, but prior to that, we scored to make it 3-0. And Agate with a tight area.
Another assist.
Yeah, another assist. Talk us through Bathtime. What did you see?
I saw the ball pinballing about a little bit. I can't even remember who won it, but I know Bruno dropped deep to receive it because that got him from not being offside. And then he did what like any midfielder, like any of you lot that play 5-a-side, always run on the blind side of a player. Like players like Bruno are so good at stuff like this that they'll hide behind referees and things, but get on their blind side, or get on the shoulder that is the furthest away from the ball and run around it. And that's what Bruno does. And Ugarte, I can't, to be honest, I don't know if Ugarte means what he does. He just flicks it, I think. And you know that, but that is a very sort of South American thing, that a structure emerges on the pitch and you play you play sort of improvised passes. He gets it through. Bruno, absolutely ice cold. I'm so pleased that Unai Simon wasn't playing, because that keeper was down so early. He made it so easy for Bruno, and Bruno was, thank you very much. But it's really, really important, because if Bruno doesn't take that and score that, it's 2-0. And 2-0 is a very, very dangerous scoreline. It's
we know that.
Well, that's the thing, is, 2-0 up against Lyon with 25 minutes to go, and we need bloody Harry Maguire, who's inspired Jamal recently, to win us the match. But honestly, Bruno scoring that with aplomb, as it were, is exactly what we kind of need, because he missed one later. Garnacho missed one later. Ugarte, Casemiro. It's so important that Bruno scored that goal. And then Mazraoui, I think, is just a bit unlucky in it. Yeah, but he makes good contact.
It looked that way. Yeah, it hit with his weaker foot as well. It was a really good contact, good strike, and it hit the bar. And this is we're thinking, wow, we could have gone 4-0 up in the first half. But just going to you, Stuart, about the finish. Bruno, so as Bathtime explained, he's run off the ball and one-on-one with the keeper. And what does it take? I mean, you're a finisher. You've told me about in your area, your amateur football you've played, you scored a lot of goals. So you're a natural goal scorer, Stuart. I mean, he had his head up. He seemed like all the time ago. It seemed there's never any doubt. Again, one-on-one with the keeper. What does it take to finish?
Just composure and just keeping that composure and ice cool. And the thing with Bruno, nothing phases him. Like I said, with 50,000 whistling in his ear, nothing phases the bloke. And I'll tell you what I've noticed lately. He's not whinging like he used to. Even when he gets fouled, he got fouled a couple of times tonight, Bathtime, and he's just got up and got on with it. That's one thing we can all admit about Bruno that used to piss me off a lot was his whinging and crying, and he seems to have got over it a little bit.
He's kind of reinventing himself as a player for me.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. The fella's a genius. We would be absolutely screwed without this bloke in our team at the moment.
Since like players like Rashford have gone, who like, you know, Garnacho is fast, but he doesn't have like the real raw pace. Something like Rashford, you very rarely see that Bruno ball coming out anymore. When we've seen him played at 6, we've seen much more sort of disciplined, high volume passing. And tonight, I think he did like have a couple of whinges and he did lose the ball. And it was Casemiro who I remember he did that. Were you at the Newcastle final? Like in the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Do you remember, like, there's 2 minutes to go and Bruno played a stupid pass and Casemiro nearly belted him on the pitch because Casemiro understands how to win these matches. I felt that Casemiro kind of got a hold of Bruno tonight and made him sort of like focus a little bit more. And long may it continue, because ever since Keane went in on Bruno, he's really stepped up as a player and as a captain.
Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, just to add to what we're referring to this thing about Bruno. Obviously, you talked about his whinging, and then there was question marks about he's not captain. But he's our creative force, and he's also a captain, which reminds me of the guy from Arsenal, which is Odegaard. He's their creative force and their captain as well, and he's let them down at big occasions. Hasn't really stepped up in recent games. If you follow the Arsenal with losing the league and losing in the Champions League the other night, Bruno, different gravy. I think he's our creative force. He's the best player in our pitch and our midfield, the one who can make things happen. And also, he's the captain as well, a leader of men. And as you said there, the whinging or whatever's changed, I'm sure you've noticed a change with him, where he's sort of been a bit more mature now and not really whinging so much and being a bit more professional and a bit cleverer the way he goes about his business. And he's leading players as well. I think Casemiro and Bruno were talking a lot. I imagine if you're on the pitch with these guys, these are the voices you would hear. So no objection to him being a captain and being a creative force then for you.
He's great. Do you know that Bruno, I think this is the 3rd season in a row now in the Premiership. He's created the most chances in the last 3 years out of anyone. So, I mean, that says it all. I mean, I get people say to me, but he scores penalties. I said, so what? That's part of football, for God's sake. But the assist, he's just the bloke's a genius. He really is.
Solo's saying here, hi Solo, by the way, saying that he's still not United captain. I mean,
yeah, he is so low.
If he lifts the Europa League this year, he will be the captain. He deserves it. It's just been a good performance. I hope you enjoyed that, Solo. We're on the up. This is a great turnaround to a terrible season, and we're feeling good. So at halftime, you're the manager, Stuart. What are you saying to the boys? I mean, the fans. You turn the fans. Turn them nutty. I mean, they're it's going to be a celebration. Fans. I mean, but what do you say at 3-0 up? What sort of instructions do you give to the team? And do you think they carry that out?
I say, boys, get your suits pressed for the final. We're off to Bilbao again, boys. Come on. Now, to be honest, last 20 minutes, Yabba, like I said, I mean, I'm coming away a bit disappointed that we didn't get 4 or 5.
What do you say at half time then? What do you think the managers? What would you say? And what do you think the manager had said to them to preserve this? Because we were 2-0 up against Lyon, we've thrown it away. So with everything in place and everything we know about us being shaky, what was said? What were the pointers to be said at halftime when we've got 15 minutes to take a breather and think about where we're at? We're 3-0 up and the situation. How do you manage that? And do you think they carried it out?
I mean, the first thing you're going to say is don't do nothing silly, boys. First 5-10 minutes, keep it nice and safe, nothing silly. And I think, I mean, we got through the second half. Again, everyone's saying, oh, but Bilbao had 10 men. It doesn't matter if you had 10 men, 9 men. The amount of times we've had, when we had players set up against Tottenham when we lost 3-0, we played better with 10 men. And for some reason, United, a lot of teams do play better with 10 men. Obviously, you got to up your work rate, you got to look after your teammates. But yeah, I think we coasted through the second half. But like I said, I was disappointed. I wanted 4 or 5. But we're not going to lose 4-0 at home, are we, surely? Are we?
Surely not. I don't think so. Even with 11 men, I don't think they can do that to us. But what do you think? I mean, you've been in this situation before, Bathtime, when 10 men, and you should go out and dominate. What kind of things should be said for the manager? And do you think they carried it out by instructions from what we saw? Because Stewart saying, we should have went at them, or so I heard it said maybe we should go at them after 20 minutes, start going at them. Is that taking a risk? Because you just don't want to give the fans anything. And I think for me, I'm very happy with the second half performance. I think that's good man management, good player management on the ball. You can see Mount was getting it from Casemiro for giving the ball away. Silly, try a little something. Don't try a little something, just keep the ball. I think I was very happy with the second half performance. Over to you, Bathtime.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like Stewart, obviously, as fans, look, they've got 10 men. Let's get 5, let's get 6. That's what we want to see. But as a player in those kind of situations, there's when you play against 10 men, a lot of teams will in pre-season will do a lot of 10 men work, and a lot of kind of exercises you do is that the attacking team has an extra man, and it's a situation they're sort of quite comfortable in. Also, teams work so much on transitions that you have to be really, really careful because you can't overcommit. And a defender like Lindelof actually did it once or twice. We'll try and join in because they'll see a space or something. What you really, really want to do is you want to get the ball, have someone come and meet you, and then you pass it, and then you work it to the 3-man, and you want to pull them from pillar to post for half an hour, so that the threat of the transition is taken away, and then you squeeze them in the last 5 or 10 minutes and get the goal. There's other things as well, like knowing who's on yellow cards. Like if one of our players was on a yellow card and would miss the home leg or something like that, might not be a bad idea to take that yellow. Like Jose used to do stuff like this.
Mason Mount soon picked up another yellow when he come on, didn't he? God dear.
Yeah, I mean, Mason Mount I found dreadfully annoying, to be honest, when he came on. But as we were saying earlier, I've got big plans for Mason Mount. I don't know why, but I think he's going to do something massive in this tournament. I've got a feeling in my waters, Stewart. And they're telling me.
I'm feeling your waters.
But to Yabba's point, I know a lot of people are going to be really disappointed that we didn't finish it off. That 3-0 to 4-0 feels like a very, very big score, but they were extremely professional. Like, you remember that MAGUIRE wasn't having it all his own way with that big number 9, and there was a moment where he gave the ref an opportunity to really let Bilbao back into that match. And that was the only moment in the second half that we gave them the option to do that. And that is a very, very good performance.
I mean, isn't it crazy, Bathtime? Last night's show, I think myself and Andrew Williams both said 2-1. I think a lot of people saying 1-0, 0-0. I think there was a 3-0 Bilbao, a 3-1 Bilbao. But I mean, I said to some of the lads before the game, I'm taking a 1-1 all day long.
Yeah.
But you're 3-0 up and you're wanting more goals.
That's the thing. Yeah, but it's about circumstances, isn't it? I thought I was a little bit over positive last night because I said I think we'll win 1-0, but I can see a 2-0, because of the way Europe goes. But one thing we have to remember is that we got Casemiro, That guy, he can be bloody useless in the league for like 6 months, but it annoys me because he's just hyper focused in Europe, and he does not let them get away with bollocks. He understands the importance of keeping the ball, and he was even more important when we got to 10 men because he was stopping them, like launching the ball and things like that. He was every time he got it, he faced up, and then he turned and went home and made them run a little bit more. In the last 5 minutes, Bilbao committed players forward, but Nico Williams was absolutely dead on his feet. Inikai Williams as well, like because we ran them all over the pitch, and it was the only issue with the second half is that we didn't get a goal. And to be honest, I think Bruno should have scored. Garnacho should have scored. But this has been our problem all this season. I was really delighted with how Amorim, like, I feel like Amorim has taken a big leap forward in my estimations tonight with a lot of decisions that he's made. I'm still not completely happy about him giving Ahmed 5 or 10 minutes. So.
It's a bit strange that I'm shocked that he come on. I'm absolutely astounded that he come on. To be honest, Bathtime.
But we don't know how far he is into his recovery. I think. But I don't think he would risk it if that was the case. Did you notice? Was it you, Stewart, who said that Luke Shaw came off the other day or at the weekend? Some players came off, which suggested they would be ready for this. Be primed for Thursday tonight.
Shaw played the 90 minutes against Bournemouth.
Shaw played the full game, yeah. But Ahmad's only been back on the grass for like what 7-8 days. Bathtime.
I mean, to be honest, I suspect what happened is that Amorim saw him and De Ligt this as like bonus minutes, like
big time.
And he thought, like, getting 10 minutes, it's kind of like they're cheating their recovery a bit, like giving them 10 minutes here that they never thought that they would give, like is getting them a little bit further. Because with Ahmad and De Ligt, I think that really you should be looking to have them fit and informed for the final. I think the game next week is a bit too close, and I would expect Amorim to put out his strongest team at Old Trafford next week. Like I don't want I don't want to see Morehouse or someone turn up like. But I feel that the reason that Ahmad and De Ligt came on is, as Monday said, we're not privy to all their sort of like their data and things, but I suspect that that's a little bit of cheating, and we've got them further ahead in their recovery with that 10 minutes.
To be honest, Bathtime, I'm not playing Bruno in the league. I'm leaving Bruno out against Brentford.
Wouldn't you know it? Yeah.
Like Bathtime just said, Yabba, you've got to start a strong side against Bilbao next week. You can't take it for granted. Start your strong side. Give it an hour. If we go 1-0 up, it's 0-0. Bring off the big boys. Give the youngsters a chance. But I'm leaving Bruno out now until the final.
Well, I think what you do, Stewart, is for the game against Bilbao, you give the main team an hour, and then you give the reserves half an hour, and you say this is your opportunity to play yourself into the final. And every game from now till the end of the season, you give opportunities to fringier players like I don't know, like Mainu or Mount, or like you give them an opportunity in these games to kind of play themselves in. So everyone's competing for that spot in the final, and that also allows you to kind of give Bruno. It would be great to give Bruno Maguire just 1 or 2 games off, like not to lose.
Very interesting to say that. I remember when we played Villarreal in the final a few years ago, and Maguire had an immense season. He was a bit like Bruno, where he was playing every game,
injured, didn't it?
And he got injured just before the final, and we really missed him in the final as well. I just hope I don't even want to say it, but I want all the players to remain fit, and so we can have to choose the best side if we do get to the final. But Bruno especially, I mean, for someone, it's tempting fate to say, he doesn't get injured. It's just our thing, wouldn't it? Is for him to get injured just before the cup final. That would just be so.
We've got a lot of cover in his position, but we can rest him. But we've got Ahmad, Kobe, we've got Mount. Like these,
you see players what Rodri.
No, but I mean we can play them. instead
Yeah,
of
I hear
Bruno
what
in a
you're saying,
league
but
game.
like it's a situation like for me, like Kevin De Bruyne or Rodri for Man City. You take them out, you might have players who might be able to fill in and do a job, but they're not going to do it as effectively. Bruno's a special player, and for our club, like I say, he's the creative force, he's the captain, and he's our best player on the pitch. And I think, God forbid that he gets injured because we need him, as proven today with his 2 goals, penalty, cold as ice, and the finish when he got set free by Ugarte with the back heel. Yeah, just deadly.
Would you say the same about Rasmus?
No, because Xerxes out now, and you say, well, if Rasmus gets injured, we would struggle, but we'd find a way around that. It wouldn't be as impactful. That's my point.
Well, I was just thinking about the players that I would want to see given breaks, and I would like, between now and the end of the season, Yoro to sit out a match. I'd like Mazraoui to sit out a match.
Definitely.
I'd like Maguire to sit out a match. I'd like Bruno to sit out a match. I'd like Garnacho to sit out a match, just to keep to keep them fresh or something. I don't want them sitting out all the matches like Stewart does because they need to be playing football. But I just think that those players need to be managed a little bit. But I also think it's really important we don't run Rasmus into the ground. I think Chido has, or maybe Kobe at false 9, has got, like, Rasmus needs to be left out for a match as well, because
I don't get this bath time, because surely, I mean, after the Wolves game, Bournemouth, I'll be starting Chido. Give Rasmus a couple of games off.
yeah, Rasmus
I don't
we've seen
that.
does better as a sub. Like, do you remember the tail end of last season?
Yeah.
Like, that's where he got like. I think the thing is that if we play Spurs in the final, it's going to be really important to have that threat at Rasmus's pace, because they're going to be playing high up, and we're going to need an out ball. So we're going to need Rasmus and Garnacho in good physical nick. I don't want him to do what Ten Hag did and just run everyone into the ground. But the thing is when Cheeto's come on, let's be honest, he's shown moments of talent, but he hasn't really affected a game. Like, he hasn't had a moment where he's kind of affected stuff. You see, he's a good player, but Rasmus is, by running ahead of people and being a kind of icebreaker. Like, he's left these spaces in behind that we see Bruno and Mount and even Kobe arriving in. He is contributing on some level to games, and I think he's doing it far more than Chido is. But Chido just is a nicer player. So we do need Rasmus for this game and for the rest of the season. I just hope now that Amrin goes back to what got him here, which is sports science and preparation, and understands that we've got a peak for that game in Bilbao in 2 weeks, or is it 3 weeks? Sorry.
21st of May.
Yeah.
21st of May. So how many games have we got in between then
3
and
more.
now?
Got Brentford Sunday, Bilbao next week, then
Chelsea.
Then Chelsea, then West Ham, and then...
There's 4 games.
4 games.
And then after Bilbao, we've got someone
Villa.
at home. Villa, yeah. We've got
Villa's
Villa at
last
home.
game of the season.
Yeah, we're parading the trophy. Don't worry about that. But yeah, so for those 4 games, I'd like to see 2 players from that list rested in each game, and maybe look at getting De Ligt and Ahmad into contention.
Okay, guys, any questions for the panel you want to ask today? I'm just talking about player performance. Not gonna do everyone. Just want to shout out a name, and just want to give you 30 seconds on each, as much as you can. But let's just wind this up, because there's someone who stood out to me today, and it's about payback and retribution. And this guy is performed brilliantly, in my opinion. It's Casemiro. He scored a goal. At Christmas, we wanted him out of the club. Get him out in January. Get him out in January. No, he's done. Get him out. Sell him to Saudi. We don't care. He's this, he's that. We're playing the young boy Collier instead. Today, we could see this guy has got something about him. Are we done? Is that the question? Or has he fooled us? Or does he not play like well in the winter months? Is it cold in England? What is going on? How can we call people out and say get them out of the club, and then months later we're talking about him man of match performance and carrying us to a final?
look, this is a 5-time Champions League winner. He's a big game player. You can see that the guy was immense tonight. I mean, man of the match for me by hands down. Even though Bruno got 2 goals, Maguire was excellent. Mazraoui again. Mazraoui every game 7 out of 10. If it wasn't for Bruno, I'd give Mazraoui player of the season. Every game he doesn't let you down, does he? But yeah, with Casemiro, he's a big game player. Outstanding tonight.
Okay, so Casemiro was standout. He was fantastic, says Kieran. We should keep him for another season. I mean, it's amazing what we say. Sorry, no disrespect when I said dumb. I wasn't directing at anyone, but Andrew's saying it. We're not dumb, yeah. But Casemiro's level is currently Europa League level. He's an elite Champions League level player, a midfielder. Question mark? Is he asking? And the answer is no. He's saying he's not. Bathtime, actually, Casemiro performance and why were we writing him off, wanting him out of the club?
Well, he was obviously, we've all eulogized him and given homilies tonight to how good he was in terms of managing situations, but also managing the players. It was like a sort of it was like a really sluggish Roy Keane away at Turin, the way that he was sort of grabbing hold of people and things like slow motion. I think earlier in the season, I said, I'm not sure about losing Casemiro because I feel that we're really, really weak in the midfield. But the thing is that he's not suited to the Premier League. And I think that you kind of have to question why he really turns up for cup games, but not for league games. And if you're building a team where you want to be a league team, Casemiro in the Premier League isn't for you. But we've got to look realistically and say that, in the last 4 years, we've become one of the best cup teams in the world. And that's coincided with the signing of Casemiro. So I think that I would love at the end of the season to give him a handshake and give him his flowers because hopefully would have won 3 cups since he's been here. And a lot of people would take that, like FA Cup, like Carabao Cup, Europa Cup, like those are nothing to be sniffed at. But yeah, my only question is why is it just the bloody cups he turns up for? But yeah,
isn't that most of the players though? Bathtime.
Is it what?
Isn't that most of the players this season though?
Yeah, but it's like, tell me a Premier League game that you've seen in the last 2 years where Casemiro has performed at that level.
Couldn't tell you.
There you go.
All right, the final one from me. Let's talk about the players that came off the pitch because we have to consider. We talked about the final games that we got, but we want to be talking about the next Thursday against Bilbao. Hopefully, punching our way through to the final, and obviously getting as many players back available as possible. So on came Mason Mount, on came Mainu, and on came Luke Shaw. Just talk about those 3 and how important they could be. Sorry?
And De Ligt.
Oh, sorry, and De Ligt as well. Just talk about those 4 players and how much impact they could have with the remaining important games that are coming up at the end of the season. And how do you see them sort of as valuable players for us right now? Players that could make a difference.
Just going on to De Ligt, I think if De Ligt stays fit for the next few games, I'm starting De Ligt, Yoro, Maguire in the final if we get there. I like De Ligt. Again, wasn't sure at the start. He's a bit injury prone, but I like De Ligt. He's up there with Maguire for me. They're very, very similar sort of. Even though De Ligt's Dutch, he reminds me of a proper old school English centre half like Maguire. He doesn't F about. He just does his job. Nothing special. But yeah, if De Ligt stays fit, he starts in the final for me.
And just add Ahmad as well. I forgot to add Ahmad.
Ahmad, yeah.
So
great to see it back.
Those players I've mentioned, the importance and how much value do we have to them coming back into the side now after long-term injuries?
Well, you got match winners there, which is really, really important. Like even Luke Shaw has, scored in a European final, and he has tonight. I think he put in a very, very good cross for Garnacho, didn't he? I think that Ahmad gives you a couple more bullets. Certainly at right wing back, for example, like we don't know where he's going to come back and play. And he's got such a dreamy touch, Ahmad. I'd love his output to be higher, but he's a player that, like Spurs, if it is to be Spurs and it is to be us, the Spurs are going to have to sit down and have a think about what they're going to do. He's going to be a problem for them. Kobe Mainu did some of the most crazy five-a-side skills I've seen for quite some time in that match. Do you see where he was getting fouled and he was dribbling it with his heels? It was unbelievable. But Kobe's a match when De Ligt, I'm not anywhere near where Stewart is, but I think I do have concerns about Maguire's fitness at the moment. It looks like he keeps coming back and he keeps being taken off and things. I think once again, like at the end of last season, he's playing a bit through the pain barrier. So I'm very pleased De Ligt is back to help that thing. Stuart.
Didn't he get taken off tonight because of the potential red card and all this sort of malarkey? I think that's why he got taken. It wasn't. He didn't get an injury Bathtime, did he?
He got one a couple of weeks ago where he missed a game, didn't he, after Lyon? And then he got taken off after 67 minutes against Bournemouth, and he got taken off again around the same kind of time at the moment. I think Maguire is probably working through an injury, so having De Ligt back is really, really useful. I do worry about. I think our midfield, our defence, is Yoro, Maguire, Mazraoui, and that's what he wants to keep. So having Ahmad back is absolutely fantastic because it means that Ahmad can play the right wing back, and we have Maz in that kind of settled defence. So that's absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Steph.
I've just how you doing, Steph and Andrew? I've just had a couple of Spurs fans message me while we've been on air, and they are petrified that Ahmad's back.
Good. They should be more petrified going away. Second leg, 3-1. I think.
Yeah, it's not done and dusted for Spurs yet, by a long way.
Most certainly. All right, guys. Well, look, we are taking little baby steps. Well, not baby steps, a giant step towards the Europa League final. I was going to say Champions League final, but it will be our second Europa League. We've been in 2 finals in recent years. Won one, lost one on penalties. This could be an opportunity to get a second one.
We're going to win it, Yabba.
Look, we're Man United Football Club. When the chips are down, we've had a terrible season. We've all been through it on the show, haven't we? And this is such a good feeling. And I just feel that if we do get to the final, with all the energy that's behind us and the players as well, it's about wanting to win, the hunger to win after everything they've been through. So no matter who we play in the final, whether it's Spurs, whether it's the Norwegian side, I think the players are hungry, the fan base are hungry. We want this so bad. It means so much to us. And
we've got momentum now, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly that. So I'm fully confident and positive with Man United Football Club right now, especially in the Europa League, because this is our save our season at SOS. We've called out for a long time now. I think Mr. B called it out from Christmas or even before that. He said, look, remember, I have to clip that somehow, go back in time. But Mr. B said a long time ago, F everything else. You know how he speaks. F everything else. I don't care. I just want to win the Europa League. And it looks like we put all our eggs in one basket, and that egg's not cracked yet. But let's get through at Old Trafford next Thursday night. I just want to say thank you, Stuart. It's lovely having you here on these memorable nights, like it was against Lyon, like it was tonight again. You're skinning, you're happy, you're glowing, and you're glowing, and you're going to the final, I'm sure.
Where we going? Road trip. I've got the missus in the kitchen with me. I think she's going to be coming with us.
Are you going to the home leg? Are you going next week?
You know what? I was going to go next week, but I don't know if I can be bothered. It's like I have to take 2 days off work. It's like that's a road trip in itself, boys. You know what I mean?
Well, come on the show.
Yeah.
Do a watch along with Mr. B. It would be incredible.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it'd be good.
And Bathtime. I mean, always a pleasure. Like you say, thanks for your input.
Namaste.
Yeah, we're peaking, aren't we? It's like one of these Basque mountains. We're peaking, and the only way is up, isn't it? I mean, things are looking up for Man United for this season. It's saving our season with this cup run. And like you said, I mean, we've got a new manager, we've got a new ownership, and we've got some players coming back fresh and new after injury. And it's all about timing, isn't it? And it's just such an adventure that we go through as Man United fans and on the Man United agenda reporting all this.
It is, yeah, but like it was lights out for Bilbao basically this evening, and we are the wardens of our own fate. I feel.
Now a cut.
Like
Brilliant, brilliant, Bathtime. I like that. I like what you did there.
It's a private joke, lads.
Simon Warner saying, "Have a great Friday, guys. Well done, United. Lack a notch. We'll catch you on the next stream, which will be tomorrow." Mr. B, has got an invite?
Yeah, I think Tyrone Williams is coming on. A Spurs fan is coming on tomorrow as well. Yeah, so boo him. And I think it is the return of everyone's favourite yokel, Anthony Herbert. So if you want to get involved, like message the Manchester United Agenda Twitter account and ask Mr. B, because POTUS could be coming on. And you know, it could be you if any of you want to chat, like, and you got nothing better to do on Friday night. Speak to Mr. B.
It's a celebration. I think tomorrow night will be a celebration. It's a bit more laid back. Mr. B, you know, will be having a little tipple, and as you know, and just relaxed conversation, a bit of a laugh. So I advise everyone to tune in. And if you don't want to tune in, you actually want to take part and participate, like Bathtime said, just give the guys a message on Twitter. And we will send you the link as we do with Stewart, who's become a regular and part of the family, part of the furniture around here. So from me, after a great performance, 3-0 up, looks like we could be going to the final. It's lack a notch and lights out in Spain.
Cotar de luz and lack a notch from me.
It's a lack a notch from me. Come on, the Reds.